Right, in 3, 2, 1, we are back here with another episode of CheekzCast number 3. Thank you guys for tuning in on CheekzCast. I have a very special guest today. Today is not going to be a solo project. I have my friend John Ibarra.
How's
here.
it going?
What's up, John? How you doing?
Pretty good. Just dealing with LA traffic again, and I'm not
Yeah, how was the drive here?
fucking sucked, bro. This is supposed to be 30 minutes. It shouldn't take an hour to go 25 miles.
Yeah, LA is probably the most horrible way. That's where you're from, right? From LA?
Yeah, I'm from Whittier. I grew up in Whittier.
Grew up in Whittier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right off the 16 to 605.
So I met John through a friend of mine, Jacob. You guys we've shouted Jacob out on here, and we've talked about Jacob. You guys should know him. Shouts out to Jacob again. Basically, we met through Jacob a few years ago because they worked together, right?
Yeah, I met Jacob through his cousin Jonathan, and Jacob ended up getting in the trade with us probably about 2 or 3 years after we had gotten in, but I had met him before at a Halloween party, but then I really got to know him once he got in the trade, and him and I became pretty good friends after that. So
that's what's up. Yeah. Good guy. Great guy, actually.
Yeah, really. Yeah. He's all right.
He's all right. Don't flatter him too much, you know.
Don't want his nose to get any bigger than it already is.
But basically that's how we met. I'm not even sure the first time we met. I just remember just knowing you after a while.
Yeah, I think you came over to the house a couple times when we were living in La Habra.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we just hung out,
we
drank,
got drunk. Yeah, and then
smoked a little,
just that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, vibe, you know.
So tell us, you just actually came back from Seattle, and how was that?
I did. I was up there working for about a year. Did a few projects up there. For those that don't know, I'm an iron worker.
That's the trade he's talking about.
Yeah. So local 433. Shout out to those guys. But I was up there doing some projects up there, and it was good. I enjoyed it.
Before we get into that, what does ironworking entail? What does the actual trade of ironworking do?
Welding, connecting buildings, shaking deck, bolting up, anything. Basically,
You're using a lot of lingo. What? Can you elaborate a little more?
So obviously, you have the base way I can put it is basically the skeleton of the building, just the iron of the building going up. Before any walls go up, before anything, you got steel beams and you need a floor to keep going up, and that's what we do. So we put the building up, and then after that, all the rest of the trades come in and make it what it is. They slap the walls together, everything like that. But we just...
You guys are the bones of the building. Then.
That's basically what we are.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what's up.
That's the base way I can put it, to let people understand.
As simple as possible. Yeah.
It's just the skeleton of the building. That's what we do.
Well, I'm sure after this, I hope I get some, ironworker fans, who might want to come on, because I know you guys have some crazy stories.
Oh.
I mean, you, Jacob, and Jonathan have told me guys falling off of buildings or
Oh yeah, there's some wild ass stories that just some stories I'm not gonna I won't put names out there or anything like that, or I probably I've seen a couple maybe I think 1 or 2 guys die. It's wild.
Really?
It's wild.
And that's usually typically from safety reasons, or
yeah,
can it just
it's
happen?
it's nothing oh, some guy pushed another guy off a building. It's more just shit went south. It just their safety
slipped?
their safety didn't work out the way they wanted, or maybe they weren't supposed to be doing what they were supposed to be doing as far as safety, or they were trying to cut a corner and just it went south for them, and now they're not here, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. RIP to those guys, especially people who do stuff on the job. I feel that's that's just such you're making a living and then you die from it, That's such a terrible way to go out.
And it's not just ironwork. Other trades experience it too. Yeah. So
but yeah, anyways, so that's his trade, and that's what he does. And he actually went up to Seattle to go work on a building. What building did you work on?
I went out there originally. We did an Amazon out there, just not in Seattle, but north of Seattle, maybe probably about an hour north of Seattle.
And
then from there, I worked on the Key Arena, or what was the Key Arena, which is now called the Climate Pledge Arena, where their hockey team place.
Okay.
So I was there only for like a couple days, and then from there I went to the Amazon, the warehouse, and then after that I worked on the Seattle Convention Center for a few weeks. I think probably about a little over a month, I want to say. And then from there I went to Project X, which, I mean, I'm not going to say it on here because I don't want to get in trouble for the company in trouble.
NDA, yeah. Non-disclosure. Did you have to sign one of those?
No, but like it's just like I don't want to put anybody in a situation they're not supposed to be put in or something like that, just by like saying something I'm not supposed to.
That's okay, Gossip Girl. You don't gotta do that.
But I was up there. I was up there for a few projects. It was fun. Like I enjoyed it, and it was a blast. Like, I got to meet a bunch of new people.
That's awesome.
Traveling for work like really gets you to. Like for what I do, or for trades in general, when you travel, you kind of get to see how how other locals do things. Like even though you guys are in the same trade, you guys do the same exact thing. You can see how other locals do that specific job. So it's different. Like down here, like we get rained out all the time. Like if it rains, like this morning, lightning and thunder and stuff like that, like they probably shut some jobs down. But up there, like if it's just raining, you just fucking work because it rains in the Pacific Northwest. That's all it does.
Yeah, exactly. So you just kind of have to deal with all that.
Yeah.
Fucking waterfall and all that. What's like your most memorable moment from being up there? I mean, I'm sure like some crazy shit happened or anything like that. Especially with those safety regulations, because they're different from here.
I mean, they're not. They're pretty much generally all the same. Like the major ones, like hey, like you got to tie off after a certain amount of like feet in the air, stuff like that. Like, but for the most part, they're all basically the same. And then other than that, it's kind of later. There's some leniency toward like depending on the company. If it's a smaller company, they kind of like look the other way because they're trying to get a building up, which is obviously not the right thing. But obviously, some people are like, you know what, I'm going to relax here. But everybody should be on top of their game 100% of the time. Especially like in that trade, because like you only got 2 eyes, you got 10 fingers, and
no, I know you bastards. You guys aren't. None of you guys are probably sober, but
I'm not gonna say anything on that. Like,
no, I'm just.
I've been in certain situations where I was like, you know what, I probably shouldn't be in this. I should not be up here with a harness on right now.
Yeah, no, I feel it. But yeah, Seattle. What's the vibe like down there? I mean, I hear nothing cold and depressed. Maybe like
so yeah, a lot of people say it's like cold and depressing because it rains all the time, but I loved it. Like it was a blast. Like it's just different. Maybe it's just different from down here because it's always fucking hot and the sun's always out, which is great. But then like I went up there and it's like raining and people are just like down here everything shuts down. People are like, oh no, we're not going out. It's raining. Up there it's like, oh, it's raining. Well, fuck, like just go out. Like nobody cares. It's just rain. All it is water. Like, you're not going to fucking melt. You're not made of sugar or anything. So people still go out and have fun. It is a lot colder, though. It took me time to get fucking used to it.
What's
cold.
like the average like temp you were dealing with? Like 50? Like 40?
Nah, like, yeah, about that. In the winter, it got down to like the 30s and 20s.
Did it snow up there?
Oh, fuck, yeah. I got snowed. I actually got trapped at my girlfriend's place for a while.
Shit.
Because it snowed and I had stayed up there for Christmas. And I was like, all right, so we went.
You say trapped like it was a bad thing to be around her, huh?
Well, not true. Fuck, no. Now she's going to listen to this and that's what she's going to say.
She's going to be like, trapped? Like, what do you mean trapped? We had a great time, you know?
Well, no, because she still went to work because she like takes the bus and walks everywhere. She doesn't drive. But my only mode of transportation was basically my vehicle, and my truck isn't like 4-wheel drive. Like, I don't need 4-wheel drive down here. But up there, like, once it started snowing, I was like, I couldn't go anywhere. Like, I even tried moving my car to, like, just to see, all right, like, can I go at least down the block? Like, I couldn't even get out of my parking space because it was just covered in snow.
2, 1. All right, so your truck was covered in snow. You couldn't go anywhere. So what else had happened? Were you able to, like, how long were you actually there for?
About a week. It snowed for about a good week. They shut down the job, so we really couldn't even go to work. So I was kind of off for almost 2 weeks. Just the 1 week I was spent at her place, at her apartment, which is like 5 miles north of downtown Seattle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice area.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the area, like my truck actually got broken into, like in her neighborhood, but I was kind of parked in like a shady area. So it's like, all right. So after that, I never parked there again. But other than that, like I never had any problems. Like you walk up and down the street. So I was kind of just stuck there at her place. So I would just go out for walks in her neighborhood and stuff like that. Just kind of just walk around the snow, play in the snow, because I never grew up in snow. So
yeah. Being from LA too, it's just fucking. It snowed in LA though, right? Like maybe like once or twice a year, or
maybe
never.
Like I know like it snowed like a dusting in Whittier like in the 40s or something like that.
In the 40s?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's cool, man. I mean, like that's cool. I mean, like you get 2 weeks off, you get to be in the snow, and I kind of feel the same way. I think if I went up there, I would like it for like maybe a month, and then I'd be like, okay, it's time to go back.
But see, I thought the same thing. I thought I'd be like, okay, like all right, like I'm not gonna like it, like it's gloomy. But I went up there and I enjoyed it. Like the spring and summer is like excellent, like it's beautiful. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like you have to be there. Like
you said, it's gloomy during the summer.
No, it's just like it's gloomy throughout the year.
Yeah, and
then like. Because for the most part, it rains a lot. Like so, the Pacific Northwest is technically a rainforest. That's what it is. So everything's green. It rains all the time. It gets humid during the summer, but for the most part, like on the sunny days, it's really beautiful. Like you could see Mount Rainier, even though it's like 100 miles away. Like it's dope. Like you see, like it's just always covered in snow. It's a dope area to just be around. And then Seattle itself, if you drive like 30-40 minutes outside the city, like you start getting into like forest. Like here, you drive 30-40 miles outside of LA, you're still in a damn concrete jungle.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking wild out here.
Yeah, driving back
you gotta go all the way up north just to fucking find some greenery.
Yeah,
but I mean that's awesome. I mean, did anything happen with your job up there? Like, did anything crazy happen?
Nothing really. Like no real crazy things happen. Like up there,
just got the job done.
Yeah, I just went and I was really like even though like I went up there for work. Like I went up there, I always leave like with a mentality like, I'm going up to work. But then once I got there and started working, I was kind of like, all right, like I really enjoyed it. Like I really enjoy the area. Like, like I would really consider moving back, like just moving there. Period.
That's cool.
Like I would. I'm
sure it's hella cheaper out there too, right? Or is it about the same?
It's like in the city of Seattle, it's about the same. But outside, if you go outside the city limits of Seattle, it's cheaper. Like you get bigger pieces of property and like.
I'm sure you can buy like a house that's like $1 million down here for like 300 or something down there, right?
No, it's a little bit more than that. Probably like 500,000.
That's still half of the amount.
It's still pretty good.
Yeah, but so like, what made you like? I know like I remember you guys explained to me that like you guys are part of the union. So basically, how a union works is like you're moving within the union with different companies. So different companies have the union, right? But
so a company will sign on to the union and everything like that.
And then you guys move freely throughout these companies?
For the most part. I mean, you still have to fill out like a new hire packet and everything.
Oh yeah, but like it's one of those things where it's like, and it's like a reputation thing, right? Like if you have a bad reputation.
Your name is everything in the trade. So if you go into any trade, period, but like for my personal experience, if you go into this trade and you just have that reputation of like, oh, that guy's gonna look for any way out of work or something like that. Like people are gonna know. Like people, like your name will get around more by being a bad hand, like just a worker in general, like being a bad hand, than being a good hand. Like word gets around way faster if you're a bad hand.
Yeah, because you don't want someone shitty working on your.
Because I went to punk school, which is the apprenticeship. That's what we call it, punk school. So when I was in punk school, there was like. Now that I look back on it, you could see the guy. There's girls in it too, so you could see the people that weren't gonna make it, or like that were just like, oh, they're just here for a paycheck, and then that's it. I mean, everybody's there for a paycheck, but you kind of have to like take pride in your work, you know, like
yeah, because you're building. Is it really the idea of building the buildings? Like, hey, we need to make sure that this is structured well, or is it the idea of just having that pride in your work? I'm not too sure. Like,
it's a lot of both. Like it's a bit of both, because I mean, obviously, like we're very skilled. Like we're pretty.
Yeah, you have to be in that position, right?
Yeah, so they our union dues will pay for everything, like all our like certifications and stuff like that. Like there's certain things that you're gonna have to you might have to pay out of your pocket, but if you go to the union, they might like reimburse you or something like that, depending on the certification. But for the most part, you get a lot of stuff through the union because that's what your union dues are paying for. They're paying for your benefits. They're paying for all this stuff that basically they're like.
Oh, so you kind of make the union look bad if like you.
Yeah,
because they allowed you to be in that.
Yeah,
you're
union. Basically you're joining this like you're joining this brotherhood, this sisterhood, like everything like that. You're trying to like you're putting up these buildings, but at the same time you're forming a bond with these people. Like honestly, a lot of my close friends now, like without being in the trade, obviously I never would have met them, but now like there's people that like I consider my best friends that I never would have met if I didn't join this trade, and I'm really thankful for it. Like, and then on top of that, it gave me a skill that I'll have the rest of my life. Like there's like what I see as just another day at work. People are kind of like, damn, that's fucking crazy. Like you do that for a living, you do that for pay. Like yeah, and I've had people like, hey, get me in. Which I'm like, all right, look, like I get it. You see the money that we make, but at the same time, it's like you're basically risking your life like almost every single day.
Yeah, and then I remember when Jacob asked me, he's like, "You should join, man." I said, "Fuck no."
I mean, I think you'd be good. Like, you're big, you're strong, dude.
I know. I would be all that, and I like. Don't get me wrong, I've considered it, also being in times when like school and stuff, but like I just don't see myself doing that kind of work.
Hey, I mean,
for being the big strong guy I am, I don't see myself, like doing any of that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're waking up early. I already fucking hate waking up early. You guys are, you guys are a bunch of assholes up there. I know you guys are assholes up there. I mean, I was like talking shit the entire time.
Oh, that's
sometimes I can be a little sensitive. But no, I mean, it's cool. Like it sounds cool. I like the camaraderie of it. I just don't think the work is for me though. I think I would get like sick and tired of it, and I would probably quit or something, because I don't know. I'm just not. I just wouldn't want to do it. I don't know. I don't really have a reason. I just don't want to.
That's some people. Yeah, some people are just like, you know what? That's not for me. I'm not going to do it. It's fine. Like honestly, I didn't think it was for me. Like getting in, I.
How did you get in?
My buddy. So you remember Dylan? You met?
Oh
Dylan?
yeah, definitely Dylan.
So he got me in so when he got in. I kept bugging him for work. I was like, hey, because I was just washing dishes at the time, like at some old folks' home in Norwalk. I forget Southland. It's called Southland.
Okay.
So shout out to Southland. That was my first job. But I was washing dishes down there, and I was just tired of it, and I didn't want to go to school. Like I tried school. Like I was playing water polo for.
Water polo.
Yeah,
wow.
I played water. Yeah, I played water polo for Cerritos College for like a semester, but I really hated school, so I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna do this anymore.
Okay.
And I kept bugging him. I was like, hey man, you got any work? You got any work? And I think it was right around the 2008 recession. So he's like, no, he goes, there's no work. Like he was struggling for work. So I was like, damn. I was like, all right. And then one day out of the blue, he's just like, hey, he goes, you still want to work? I was like, yeah, why? He goes, all right. And he just gave me a list of documents. He sent me a list of documents that I needed, like my diploma, my birth certificate, my social security card. And he goes, I need you to be here at this location, which is the punk school, which is in La Palma. And he goes, I need you to be here at this time. And just tell them what you want to do. Tell them you're going into 433 and give them all your documents, and they'll set you up. I was like, all right, cool. So
you're like, fuck.
Well, yeah. So it was, like now.
No,
like,
I have to do it.
Yeah. I was like, all right. And I was actually like, on that day, I was actually headed with a buddy of mine to Rancho Cucamonga. We were going to go hiking.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden, like, we were like set. Like, we're like, oh, we're going hiking. We're on our way. And all of a sudden, Dylan sent me the message, or he called me. He goes, you still want to work? I was like, yeah. Like, we were halfway there, and I was like, turned to my buddy. I was like, sorry, dude. I was like, I'm done. And we jumped off the freeway, busted a bitch, and jumped back on the other way. And I dropped him off at his house. He was all bummed. I was like, dude. Hey, this might be my only chance to get in.
He's just like, you really gonna like risk us going hiking for this job, guy?
Yeah. I was gonna leave him on the side of the freeway.
He was like, you're fucking asshole. But
but
that's awesome though. That's cool how that worked. I mean, you get an opportunity, you got to take it. You know? And honestly, you're always gonna have a job doing something. I mean, you can get that job anywhere. You can even be a private contractor to a point, right?
I mean, I have to go through licensing and stuff like that, but I don't think I'd ever want to own my own company. Like,
no.
I don't think so. I
that's usually like the pathway most people take, right? They usually work a trade and they keep doing it, and then eventually they hire like 10 people to do a job.
I mean, people would like to own a company and stuff like that. That'd be cool, but at the same time, like, I see people that own companies, and they have they make a lot of money and stuff, but at the same time, now they have their name is on this company, so they're focused on this, which is cool. Like, if that's what they're into, like, they want to focus all their time on this company, and this is their child and everything, knock yourself out. But I don't know, it's not for me. I like enjoying my freedom. Like I told you, like, I took a month off work. Like, right now I'm just
kicking it.
Yeah,
just having a good time.
I came home. I was like, you know what? I want to hang out with friends. I want to spend time with family. Like, I want to do all this. Like, I just want to rest for a little bit.
That's awesome.
So I just decided, like, you know what? I'm not going to go to work. Like, I told them, I was like, hey, I'm taking a month off. And they're like, okay.
That, what do you do in your off time?
Whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Like, lately I've been going to I'll wake up, go to the gym every day. I'll hang out with my mom or my sister, something like that.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll just find something to do. Like, maybe I'll go golfing, go to the beach, just fucking drive around, go get some lunch. Like, I don't know, just whatever I want to do.
What do you have like any aspirations for anything else? Like, because of this free time you have? Because like you're basically going to work and then getting off work, and then are you done with your day after that, or is it like get off of work, I'm working on something else?
Not so much working on something else, but like just kind of like so right now, like I have this kind of idea to make like these coolers out of these like bulk kegs that we have at work.
That's sick.
So I'm kind of like, all right, like I don't think anything big's gonna come of it, but I'm just kind of like, hey, it's just like a little project to work on, you know. And if it works out, like fuck it, like I'll do it. But I'm not gonna invest 100% of my time. Like I know that sounds kind of like I'm wasting my time. Then like if you're not gonna invest 100% of yourself into something, but so. I'm kind of just like, you know what, this is something to keep my mind busy. If it works out, like if it starts panning out, then all right, maybe let me do a little bit more time in it, but I'm not going to go 100% into something like, all right, this is just kind of like a test run kind of thing.
Well, it's just like this podcast is, like at this, like piggybacking off that, like I didn't think that either. Like, I mean, like you always have that like initial like with everybody that you do podcasts with, always, or that you're friends with. I'm not podcasting with, you're friends with, where you guys are just talking and laughing. And man, if someone recorded this, it'd be fucking great. And I just thought to myself, like, well, why don't I do that? You know? So, you know, my initial podcasting group that I was supposed to do it with, they kind of bailed on me. And I think once you put a little bit more effort into something you're doing, I think that's when people get scared, you know? Because it's because they have that same feeling. It's it's like, oh, like this is turning into work now. It's not a hobby anymore. It's no fun. Yeah. But like the fun in it is like getting to a point to where like you can only have to do this for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, where I'm at with this thing is like, you know, I can't put 100% into this because like there's other things I'm doing in my life, but like all the rest of my time has been into this, and like I mean it's panning out pretty well. Yeah, so that's, you know, I don't know if like I don't want to say that's advice, but I'm just kind of saying like, you know, you don't know what it can turn into.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's what, like, I mean, I'm all for that. I'm all about like, you know what, like if, like I said, if it starts panning out for me, then you know what, like I'll invest more time in this. Like, then you know what, all right, this is a real thing, that this is gonna happen. But right now, I'm kind of just like, I kind of like want to put my hands in everything and just kind of like, all right, like
see what you're interested in, and stuff like that.
That's why I like the kind of like the position I'm at. Like I really don't have any responsibilities. Like I'm just take care of myself, and that's it.
You're just living.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just living like I can.
You got enough money, where like you can do what you want, but then at the same time, like you don't have to like worry about anybody like telling you not to do that either.
Exactly. Like I have the freedom to be able to just like, all right, well, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. Like I don't have to ask anybody. I don't have to worry like, fuck, I can't spend me on this because I got to worry about this, or like, oh, I got to fucking focus. No, it's just like, you know what? I'm living my life. I mean, that's how human beings are supposed to live, right? Like you're supposed to enjoy your life, and I'm enjoying my life.
That's what's up. Getting back to like your story, and then like Dylan getting you that job. So how was punk school? Like what exactly are you doing in punk school?
You're learning. You're basically learning everything you need to know. You can't. I don't want to. Never mind. Let me take that back. You're not learning everything you need to get in to be in the trade. they're giving you the basics. They're basically giving you the tools you need to at least start in the trade. Because now, knowing what I do know and seeing what I have seen, I can say I've learned probably about the same amount, if not more, just being in the field. Like small little tricks, like just different shit. Like even though like it says this in the book, out in the field, it's not always going to be like just.
So punk school is basically like a hell week almost. Like are they kind of just like throwing everything at you and being like, hey, you need to learn this. This is what you need to learn.
Yeah.
Like the basics, right? Basics of getting out there.
Yeah. So they'll show you how to read prints. They show you how to like. They'll give you like just the basics on. All right, this is what prints look like. They're like, this is what these codes look like. This is basically how to put up a building. Like they're just real basic, just to get you started, and then everything else, all the little tricks and shit like that, like what pages to go to on your prints, or like what tool you're gonna need, or how to use your tool. Because certain guys will like some guys will like kind of tweak their tools a little. Because if you like bend the tool in a certain way, you can get it like in a certain spot where you can get a lot more like pull or push on the piece itself. Like it's just
like little small things.
Yeah, small little tricks that make your life easier.
That you learned or that punk school taught you?
No, so like punk school will teach you the basics, but everything else, little tricks and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
Like you learn out in the field when you're in the situation.
And how long was punk school?
4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
Wow,
it's 4 years.
4 years.
4 years. It's 8. I don't know if it's. I think it's still 4 years. Like when I was in, it was 4 years, and it's 8 periods. So every 6 months you get bumped up a period, and every period is a new pay scale for you.
That's like basically going to school or something, right?
Yeah. So every 3 months, you go to school for a week. You go 40-hour week, so Monday through Friday.
No working.
No work.
It's just straight school.
Straight school.
Okay. And how did that punk school work out for you? Was it just pretty easy? You just kind of flew through it, or?
I thought it was pretty easy. Like I enjoyed it. Like it was a blast. Like you meet people, and then you kind of like, so you made this whole group of friends like you're going to school with, but not everybody's gonna make it. So from when I got in, like there was something like 40 or 50 people in the class. Like there were people like standing up against the walls like in my first class, and then by the end of it, like it was probably less than half of that had made it. Like they either dropped out or they fucked up or they got injured at work, so they had to drop back, and some of them got in after I had turned out. They had just gotten back in, and they're trying to do the whole 4 years again.
Damn, really?
It happens. It just happens. Like some guys just got unlucky. Other guys, like I think there was one guy that I was in punk school with, and I think a few years ago I found out that he took his own life. He had some demons, and they got the best of him.
He just couldn't handle it.
Yeah. So.
And they got to him, and like during punk school.
Not punk school, but like it's just, but like you could see he was kind of like fucked up in the head a little.
Oh, okay.
Like, and I kind of always like talked to him a little bit, but he just, I don't know, he just needed more. He needed professional help.
Yeah, too far gone and stuff. So after punk school, you did your 4 years, right?
Yeah, did my 4 years of punk school.
How long ago did you finish your 4 years? You've been done with it for a while?
Yeah, I think I'm up on 9 years. I'm coming up 9 or 10 years I've been in. So I've been out for about 5 or 6 years, something like that.
Okay, and then after this, you journey out. That's what it's called.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you journey out.
What does that entail? Because I'm not really too familiar.
So you're an apprentice your entire 4 years. So you're kind of like you're temporary. You're basically a student. So that's all you're doing. So you're basically, so what they tell you is you're paid from the neck down. Like you're not paid to think, nothing like that.
Yeah.
So you're just there to work. Okay.
Which is like basically all of retail.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like obviously as you're advancing through this program, you're kind of like starting to pick up on certain things where like, all right, like you know this, like you know this specific part of the trade, or you know how to do this like 100%. Like you can do this. You're confident. And other guys just don't know how to do it, even though they've been in for a certain amount of years. You might know more than them.
So you're almost specializing, I guess.
Yeah.
Like in a certain area of the trade.
Yeah, I'm not saying you should do that because you should know everything.
But that makes you more valuable in some aspects, right?
Yeah, because that's like, I mean, so I've been basically, I'm going to get a lot of shit for this, but I've been a career decker. Basically, like I tried my hand at bolts. But I know deck. Like I can throw deck. Like, so basically what deck is, they're long sheets, It's basically sheet metal, and we have to manually throw them out, grab them by hand, and break these sheets and throw them out because they're big stacks of bundles, like about 10 sheets a bundle, and then you throw them out and you create a floor for everybody else. So that's what I do.
It's like your like
that's
your
what the company I'm working for. That's what we
they
do.
have you. Oh, that's what the company has you doing.
Yeah, that's what our company kind of like. That's what they do. Like they do deck. So anything that has to do with the floor, like the actual floor, that's what we're doing. So we shake out these bundles of deck, and then we shoot studs. We patch the deck, so when they pour the concrete, now there's a floor for everybody else.
Sick.
So that's what we're doing. Basically, yeah.
You're the floor guy. You're making sure that these guys can walk on.
We're just glorified Lincoln Log builders. Is what we are.
That's fucking sick, dude. I had a great time with Lincoln Logs when I was younger.
I'm telling you, get in, bro. Get in.
Nah, dude. It's all right. I don't feel like I'm too far gone, but I just feel like I have other aspirations.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. But I mean, when I got in, like a lot of people were like, "Oh, do you think I can make it? Do you think I can make it?" And like I've had a couple people ask me, and like, dude, I was like, I got in, I didn't even know how to read a fucking tape measure.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't even know how to fucking read a tape measure. Like I was fucking scared of heights. Like I still am. Like honestly, like I still am a little like nervous about certain heights. But I mean, after a while, you just do it. Like it's just kind of like, all right, like I've done this 100 times before.
Oh, trust me, dude, I have no doubts that I can do it.
Yeah.
You know, I have no doubts. Like I'm the type of person when I put my mind to something, like I'm gonna get that shit done. I just don't think I want to put myself in that through something like that. You know?
I think when I got in, I was kind of like, I was like everybody else when they first get in. I was just thinking about the money.
Uh-huh.
And I was just like, oh shit, I'm gonna be making a shitload of money. Like I'm only 20, 21 years old. Like I'm making a ton of money. Like fuck yeah. Like I got no kids. Like no responsibilities. Like I'm making fucking.
Oh, it's
bank.
It's a mental game though for sure, right? Because like when you actually start doing the shit they're doing, and I think waking up, I think would probably be the hardest thing for me. That's when I think you start to question, is it worth it? Right?
There's been days, where you're just like, because there's been like hard days where I just get home, and because I worked like, we were doing the Century City Mall, a few years ago, and Dylan and I had volunteered because we were carpooling together at the time, because it's like 2-hour drive, and so we would just carpool together because we live like right near each other, and there was a time where he volunteered for a 16-hour shift.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and basically I had to involuntarily volunteer for it because I was carpooling with him. Like I had no choice. He's like, hey, he goes, I'm staying 16 hours, but I don't know how you're gonna get home. I was like, well, I was like, fuck, I guess I'm staying 16 hours too.
No, it's Uber. There's Uber out there.
It was wild. Like those were wild days. Like we worked the 16 hours, then got off, and we would go home and then sleep for like 5-6 hours, wake up and do it all over again. Like I think it was only like 4 or 5 days of like 16-hour shifts, but
it's still rough on you.
Like it wasn't mandatory or anything like that. So like it was all
even if it's voluntary, you're still doing it, and like that's hard work.
It was fucking exhausting.
And then doing 2 shifts of it every day. But yeah, I'm sure you guys made stupid money for those times,
definitely.
Right?
Yeah, like that was probably like the most. That was honestly hands down the most money I've ever made. Like that 1 week, like I made a shitload. of money.
You saw the difference in your check. You were like, oh, okay,
yeah,
like it's time to.
Yeah, then I was like, yeah, this is a lot of money, but now I'm kind of like, that shit wasn't worth it. Like,
no, yeah, okay.
I don't think it was worth it just because you just get taxed on everything now. Like
oh yeah,
and then on top of that, after a certain amount of hours, it's just like, bro, there's no point in even being here anymore. Like you're tired, everybody's fucking aggravated, and then you have to account for the fact that like since like it's a closed site, so obviously the public can't come in. You're not dealing with anybody. All you're dealing with is these fucking attitudes all day long, and it's just like some guys are just fucking pricks, other guys are really nice guys. I try and be like just a nice guy, like, hey, you know what, like you're having a bad day, come on, let's have a laugh, you know, like I just like to be that person, because I don't like to be a person that like, hey, like you're having a shit day, now I'm gonna fucking add to it. Although some people will say
oh, you do that?
Yeah, I just like to talk a lot of shit, but I do it just for the laughs, you know, like if I can make somebody laugh then at work, then fuck it, like it was a good day.
That's awesome. I could just see someone just like, you're just like, hey, what's up? He's like, fuck you, John.
Dude, I've like, they've never told me that, but I've had people like, yeah, that kid doesn't like you. Like apprentices will tell like other guys, other journeymen, like, you know, like they'll talk shit, whatever, which I don't care. But then that journeyman will talk to me like, hey, that guy's saying like you're like you fuck with him a lot. I was like, get the fuck out then.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like it's our trade. Like,
you have to be like mentally strong to actually be, and that's probably where a lot of the
you can't take the shit to heart. Like you really can't.
Well, just the mentality of it comes in, right? Because not only is it early, not only are you working hard, but like you got someone probably barking at you all day.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it's probably not even one person. It's probably like 5 or 6, right?
Especially when you first get in. If you're a brand new fucking punk,
fresh meat, right?
You're gonna get shit on all day long.
That's fucking. See, I don't. That's
like,
just crazy.
So when I first got in, my first job was the outdoor mall, Pacific City in Huntington Beach.
Oh, it was right here.
Yeah, that was my first. That was my very first job. That was the first job I did.
Lucky you, dog.
Yeah, it was dope. That was hands down my favorite job. Hands down.
Just the nice, cool air breezing on you while you're working, and
dude, it was like summertime. Like when I think I got in June. Like I got in, like right around this time I got in, and July was the Vans U.S. Open. So we're right there on the beach, and they were having the U.S. Open right there on, like, right in front of us. So we would all just, like, we were there 6 days a week. We would just work, and then on lunch, we would just watch the surfers, like, and then, I mean.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
Well, how long is lunch? Like an hour, right? So
30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was dope.
2 breaks?
Yeah, you get your 15-minute, and then you get your 30-minute, and you get a 10-minute, too. Towards the end of the day.
But still, like, that's like 55 minutes of just like looking over and just seeing, like, just going
and then
crazy,
a lot of
right?
the guys, like, a lot of these guys are like just like your general construction workers. So you'd have guys like bust out like binoculars, and there'd be like people walking on the beach. Like, I'm not trying to sound sexist or anything, but women would be just walking on the beach in like thong bikinis and shit. And,
we know what's going on.
Hey, it was cool. It was a really cool job, but like that was awesome. My first job, so I got shit on there. So like one day. It was like you've been there, right? So you know how it's like really long, kind of like it takes a minute to walk.
Uh-huh.
Well, when you're building it, they don't have all that access, so you got to like go around. You have to take long ways around to shit. So it might take a minute for you to get all the way across the other side. So there was one day, it was a Saturday, and our foreman, he came up to me, he goes, "Hey, hey, I need you to go find something for me." I was like, "Oh, what's up?" And he goes, "I need you to go find scrap out prints." So when you scrap out, you're basically collecting all the trash and you're fucking stacking it to get it off the building, to fly it off. Uh-huh. Well, there's no such thing as fucking who has fucking blueprints to scrap out to pick up trash. So I was like, all right. And I kind of knew in my head, I was like, this guy's fucking with me. But I mean, as brand new kid coming in, I don't know shit. So I had to do it. So he's like, oh, so they were sending me for like about 2 hours, just fucking walking back to either end of the fucking building, like running back and forth. Just
running?
Yeah, there's like, he goes, I need it like now. So he fucking ran, and if he saw me walking, he'd call, he goes, dude, I fucking need it now. And I'd hear him laughing in the back of the fucking phone. I'm like, fuck. So like for 2 hours, I was just running fucking back and forth, sweating like a fucking dog.
Oh, that's
just
fucking
sweating
horrible.
Like a fucking dog.
Just hazing you.
Yeah, basically, that's what it was.
Basic.
It was cool though, but I mean, the thing is, if they fuck with you like that, they like you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if they
don't fuck with you, is that like a bad sign?
Yeah. If they don't fuck with you, like if they're not fucking with you or like making fun of you and shit like that, then they don't like you.
And how does that turn out for people?
Most of the time, they either just quit the company or they try another company or they just get out of the trade altogether. Like, like I've seen guys like that. There's like, I won't put any names out there, but I know one guy that was at the stadium that was like his.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Jacob's out now. No, there was one guy at the stadium. That was his first job, the SoFi Stadium.
Okay.
And he got brought in, and everybody, and he was connected to somebody in the company. Okay, that's how he got in. So everybody like was kind of like, oh fuck yeah, like we're gonna fuck with this kid hard. Yeah. And he got fucked with, not more than anybody else, but he ended up taking it to heart, and he just ended up quitting. Like he left his tools and everything and just fucking left. Like it took him a few months, but it was kind of like, just, I'm done. Wow. Like he just couldn't. It was a combination of the work and the fact that like people just like kind of like we weren't rough, but it's just kind of like, dude, like if we're fucking with you, like just we're trying to bring you in.
Yeah, it's like initiation.
Yeah, almost. like we all went through it. Like you see all of us.
Yeah,
like
you're not new to this.
Yeah,
it's not like we're just fucking picking on you.
Yeah, because I felt the same way getting in. I thought I was kind of like, I was more like, fuck, man, like these guys are fucking with me. And then like I started kind of catching on, like, oh, these guys fuck with me because Like they like
fuck with me.
Yeah, because they fuck with me. Like I would get invited, like, hey, we're going to a bar. Like, you want to go? I'm like, oh yeah, fuck, all right, cool, yeah. So I just go to bars with them and shit like that. Like the old timers, like we just like, hey kid, meet us here at this time. All right, so we go meet them and then just have a good time.
He roofies you and then no, I'm just kidding. Meet me at this time. You seem to just go to people as soon as they said meet me here at this time.
I'm just like, hey man, I'm telling you, I'm just living life. Like, you know what? Yeah, I trust you. Let's go. Dark alley? Yeah, sure. Why not? Take this pill? Sure. Yeah.
Oh man, that's the funniest shit. What was I gonna ask? I just had a question in my head. But that's awesome. And you know what's cool about that is like you guys are your own like separate group of people. Because I always remember like going over to Jonathan's house and like all you guys would start talking. And I'd be like, what the fuck are they talking about?
I get that a lot. Like, oh, great. They're talking about work. And fucking
exactly.
leave.
And I'm just sitting there just like, oh, like I have nothing to say about that. Fuck your job.
But I mean, it goes back like I said, like it turns into like it's like you said, like the camaraderie of everything. Like, because you're coming up with these guys, you're spending a lot of time with these people that just like a lot of times, sometimes you have to trust your lives with them. Like you might be in a situation like, hey, like if like can you like hold my harness while I'm leaning over or do this? Because like if like you can't really reach like to a certain point, so you kind of need some help. So you have your partner holding your harness to make sure you don't go all the way over into the hole, like, and just end up falling.
Yeah. And also it's like that aspect of the crime. You're pretty much living at your job for 40 hours a week too, right? I mean, 40 hours a week. I mean, plus the drive over there, you're really putting a lot of time and effort into like actually even preparing to get to a job, you know? So I can understand like that, like, you know, when you guys are talking, it's like people who play football, you know, it's like, that's all they're basically going to talk about because that's all
you really
their
know.
Life, you know? Yeah. So I'm not saying that's like your life, like that's all you're living for, but basically like that's like that's paying the bills. That's what you need to do what you have to do in your own life, or like
that's getting you through. That's getting you what you want. Like a lot of these guys, like they have their big toys and shit like that. They have like fifth wheels and fucking quads and dirt bikes and shit, which is all good and fun. But the only way they're really getting it is because they have this fucking they have this
almost
career.
A separate life too, though.
Yeah, they have this fucking
else.
career, and it's hard. It's fucking grueling, and it's dangerous. Some guys don't make it out, and some guys end up getting hurt, and they're just for the rest of their life they're fucking bedridden. Like they're just in a fucking chair for the rest of their life sometimes.
Yeah. Going back to that, I know we talked about at the beginning. Is like, is there people that just like does the company pay for that if something is to happen to you like that? I'm sure they are, but
there's I mean, I don't know personally exactly how that works out, but I know like at some point, depending if obviously if the company's giving you defective like equipment and that can be proven, then obviously it falls back on the company. Like well, why were you giving this guy faulty equipment, or why was this not out of service? So that's why like safety is really big, because like the safety people that like safety officials for the companies, they do a really good job. Like they're really trying to keep us safe. A lot of guys like shit on them and stuff like that, but in reality, all they're doing is they're trying to protect the company, but at the same time, they are looking out for you. Kind of like, hey, like, because I hear it a lot. Like before, when I was an apprentice, I really wouldn't wear my glasses a lot, and it was a really bad habit. And I would get yelled at a lot. Hey, put your glasses on. Put your fucking glasses on. Put your fucking glasses on. And then there was one day where I had my glasses on and I had a face shield down and I was using this big old fucking saw that we used to cut deck, and just my fucking luck, a little piece of fucking metal, a little shard, bounced off the fucking deck, went up through my cheek, under the face shield, under my glasses, and got in my fucking eye.
Oh,
like hands down, I was wearing all my fucking safety and I still got hurt. And I was like, and I had this fucking little shard. They had to take me to the medical office, put some fucking dye in my eye, and pull the fucking metal shard out.
Ooh, god damn. It's fucking dangerous.
So I'm kind of like, all right. So like, even though these safety guys are like shitting on you all the time, like telling you do this, telling you do that, like kind of like tying your hands behind your back because you have to go that extra step. The extra step is for a reason. I heard something interesting. Like when a few years ago, one of the guys said every rule that you come across is been paid in blood. So somebody got hurt, and now that rule's in place for a reason.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So like that rule isn't there just because. Like, that rule is there because somebody got fucked up doing the same thing that you're doing, and they're doing it the same way you're doing it, unsafe, and now they're fucked up, so now this rule is there. Like, you have to think of it that way.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Yeah, I mean, you can't. I mean, that's how basically all things work, right? I mean, like anything in the court system or anything like that, because people get paid a lot of money to fucking like workers' comp and stuff like that.
They do. They really do.
And then I can only imagine. Like, I know Jacob was telling me about someone falling at the Universal Studios. I think it was. He fell. They were working on Transformers or something.
Oh,
and he fell. I don't know if it was Transformers exactly, but he fell like to his death. And at that point, it's like, what did he do wrong? Or
I don't know. I never heard that.
Yeah.
And usually we're as ironworkers, we're a pretty tight community. So if somebody gets hurt, usually you know the person, and you end up finding about it pretty quick.
Okay. Well,
but it's kind of difficult because a lot of the times, like, it's just kind of people are just trying to like get information out real quick. Yeah. So it might not always be accurate. Like, you might hear, like, if somebody falls, like if there's a job working right now, somebody falls, I might get a text message like, hey, so and so fell, like
telephone pretty much.
Like they're fucking dead. Yeah. But in reality, they probably just broke their fucking leg. Like, it's kind of hearsay all the way down. So I really don't like saying shit until like I kind of find out from a reliable source, like, all right, this is what happened. And even then, I really don't like saying things because I'm like, do you really want somebody knowing, like, oh, you got fucked up? Like,
like that being like the big news in the community.
But I mean, I don't know anything about that. I never heard anything about anybody going in the hole at Universal. But I mean,
I could be totally wrong because this was like this was a while ago, so I could be totally wrong. And then obviously what you're talking about, the facts could be totally distorted. Not saying that he's wrong. I'm just saying that, like,
you might not be remembering it right. Yeah. But no, like, certain guys, like, you just sometimes guys, like, so we, like, our harnesses, like, we have to tie off. We have 100% tie off. So you have two hooks that are strapped to the back of your harness, and they have these catenary lines running along the beams, or they'll have like safety cable on the perimeter of the building, and you can take your thing and tie off to it. Okay, you can take your hook, tie off to it. That way, if you do fall, if everything works properly, you're just gonna fall into your harness, and it's basically like a big swing.
Yeah,
that's basically what it is. But you're kind of gonna feel like really sore. You are gonna feel sore. I've never been in the hole, so I can't exactly say how that feels. But from what I've been told from guys that have been in the hole, like, you just get really sore, like, because you're taking out you don't think you're gonna go in the hole. Like, you're doing your shit, and then all of a sudden you might just get bumped, or you might lose your footing, or just something happens. You usually lose your balance, and you go in the hole, and you fucking fall into your harness, and then it's just like an accident, like a car accident. It's like just a shock to your body.
Yeah.
So you end up getting, as long as everything works perfectly, then you should have no problem. Like, you should be able to, like, all right. But then there's those certain instances where some guys just aren't lucky.
Okay. On a lighter note, what would you say that if you didn't do ironworking and you actually got to follow what you wanted to do, like, what would you have done with
teacher?
Wow, really?
I wanted to be a history teacher.
Get the fuck out of
here!
I
swear, I wanted to be a fucking history teacher. Like, I thought, like, I wanted to be a history teacher. Like, I think I would like to, if I had a chance, I would like to teach high school history. Like, that shit. Like, I had a blast in history class.
When I laugh too, there's nothing. I'm not like trying to like downplay teachers. All
it's
I'm
just
trying
different.
To say is, like, I wouldn't have expected that from you. Yeah. What? Because you're into motorcycles, right? And you're into like, drinking a lot. I don't know if teachers drink a lot. Do they? I'm sure they do.
I'm fucking sure they kids. Do. I mean, the teachers that I've met and hung out with, they drink a lot.
Yeah. Have you ever hung out with one of your teachers from like high school or something?
No, I've never hung out with any of them like that. Like, not in that aspect.
Oh, but they've told you, like.
But, like, I mean, I have friends that are teachers.
Oh, okay.
Like, I've known people that are teachers, and I've hung out with them, and they're just like everybody else. Like, yeah, it's work, and they, like, their main, like, they focus on the kids and everything like that, get their education, and then they kind of just, when they're home and they're doing their own thing, they just fucking let loose, like.
That's true.
They just
I guess
let
that's like
loose.
anybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I'm over
yeah,
here
I wanted to
judging
be a
people.
teacher.
I'm just like, dude, the teacher's drinking.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's wild. Like you're kind of like, no, my teacher doesn't do that. Like
but my fucking kids are gonna be around him.
yeah.
Yeah, you missed me with that shit.
But
No,
yeah,
it's
I
good.
wanted to be a teacher, and then for a small portion of my life, I think my senior year in high school, I wanted to be a cop.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to be a cop, but I was like, after that, I did some stuff in high school where they're like, oh, like you're gonna have to wait a few years because you admitted this because I was just being an honest person.
Yeah.
And while that honesty got me, they
Damn.
said no. They said, hey, you can't be a cop right now. I was like, all right, fuck it. And then
Can you elaborate on that, or would you rather keep that?
like
Don't incriminate yourself.
no, I mean at this point I really don't fucking care if they're
Okay.
It's nothing like I didn't do anything like super fucking terrible. Like so like I was given like an ecstasy pill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I didn't want to take it, but I was like, you know what? I was like, I think I can make some money off this, so I sold it.
Okay.
And I never got caught or anything like that. It was just like, hey, like here, you want this? Yeah, give me $10. Like it was just that was it. That was the extent of the transaction.
Yeah.
I just fucking gave him $10. Boom. I
He
put
gave you
that
$10.
down. Huh?
He gave you $10.
Yeah, he gave me $10. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Well, I fucking put that down on like so. I went to the interview to be a cop, like because I went through the testing program. I got like. I think I got like one of the 3 highest scores or some shit like that.
Nice.
So I was like,
That's
all right,
fucking
cool. Like I
awesome.
thought it was good, and I had gone through the Explorers program. I was like, fuck yeah. I was like I'm in. Like I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be a cop. Like blah blah. And I went through the interview process, and I put that down, and we went through the whole interview, and then the detective comes in. And she goes, so at this time, she goes, we're going to have to disqualify you. I was like, why? She goes, well, and then she went over.
So you sold drugs.
Yeah. Basically, she called me a drug dealer. I was like, fuck. I was like, really? She goes, yeah. She goes, it's not going to. She goes, yeah, you can't. She goes, I'm glad you admitted it, but you can't, like, we can't accept that.
She's like, why would you even say that?
Yeah.
Dude, Timmy over here fucking just sold 10 pounds the other day. You think he's going to admit it, though? You know?
You think I'm going to admit that? No, but I was like, fuck. Like, it kind of, like, really bummed me out, you know? I was kind of like, you know what? I was like, I mean, I was dumb. I was growing up, and I was dumb. I mean, everybody's dumb. Like, you're learning. You have.
I wouldn't even consider that dumb, though, because, like, you didn't. It wasn't really malicious, right?
No,
I mean,
it's like, at no point.
It's not like you were,
It's not like I was slanging pills left and right.
Exactly. Yeah, you were just like, hey, like, I don't want this. And,
Yeah.
And the druggie down the street does, so here, here's.
So I was,
down the
yeah.
street, and that's the last time I did it, you know?
That's basically that's basically where I was at. I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? I was like, fuck. I was like, here, man. I was like, I don't want this. I was like, but here, I want to make some money off it.
Yeah.
But that apparently that deems you a drug dealer. I was like, and now that I look back, I
No,
was
it
like,
is. That's drug dealing. That's basically it. But
Yeah.
like,
That-
I don't know.
and that 1 second, like
That's
5
so
seconds,
cool. You're such an
that's it.
honest guy. I wouldn't have never put that. I'd have been like,
Hey.
oh.
Well, I don't know. I was just trying to go about life like the right way, like be honest.
Yeah. Look what
To
happened.
today, to this day, I'm still pretty honest about things.
Look what happened to you, dude.
Yeah.
You just fucking.
And now look at me. I'm in this
trade.
I'm in this fucking career
Jesus
that pays for
Christ.
me, that takes care of me, and sends me to different cities to go work. Like,
Your life sounds terrible.
yeah,
No, I'm just
it
kidding.
is. And I make enough money to be able to take a month off work. Not a lot
Yeah.
of people can say that. Like, yeah, fuck this. No, I'm really grateful. Like this career has opened a bunch of doors for me and taught me a lot of things that I never thought I'd be able to ever. Like, I never thought I'd ever be in construction at all. I thought I was gonna be teacher or cop. Like, I was more leaning towards teacher.
Yeah.
But I never really. But I kind of like, I wanted to be a teacher, but the whole school thing, I was like, I fucking hate school. Like,
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Even punk school, I was kind of like, it had that little like.
You have to sit down.
You have to
read
sit
it,
down and
write.
learn shit, but
Yeah.
you kind of like, it was kind of like, it's kind of like having all the bad kids in the class, like in the school, in a classroom, because
Yeah.
everybody's drawing dicks on everything. Everybody's fucking calling each other like motherfuckers, and the teachers like fucking like cursing at you and fucking around with you too. Like,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, like, so like when like a lot of guys fall asleep, like obviously we don't get a lot of sleep.
Yeah.
So during that 1 week, during that week you're at punk school, a lot of guys end up like falling asleep in the middle of the class because you have a week off work and you know for sure you're not staying 10 hours at the school. You know you're only going from like 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. So guys are kind of like let loose for that week. They'll go party, they'll go drink, because they're not going to be up on the iron. They're not going to be doing anything hard. They're just sitting in a classroom.
Yeah, but that kind of works against them, though.
Yeah,
right?
so they end up falling asleep, and sometimes the teachers are like, fucking, they have a tennis ball and just fucking take it and just fucking chuck it at them. I don't know if they do that anymore, but they were doing it to me. This shit was
terrible.
funny.
So we've been going for about 55 minutes now. Is there anything else you want to talk about, or we can just shoot the shit? It's up to you.
Not really, dude. I came on here just like, all right, let's be an open book. I was honestly kind of nervous coming on here. I told you, I was like, fuck, man. I was like, I thought about it because I was like, oh, I'm just talking, but then at the same time, I'm kind of like, well, fuck. Now, like, I'll be talking, but then I'll say something, and now people are gonna hear it because it's gonna be put on the internet. But now I'm like, whatever. I was like,
but basically that's what it is, right? It's just talking.
Yeah, that's all you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, like, how did you feel like 15 minutes into it? Like,
it's like you said. It's like once you start talking, it's just kind of hard to shut up.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Because then one thing leads to another. But it's pretty cool.
It's funny because like a lot of people, I say the same thing to everybody, but like a lot of people will be like, they'll say the same thing, and then I'll be like, watch, you'll be fine after 15 minutes, and it's always like super nervous, and like they'll trip over their words a lot, and then 15 minutes, like right at the 15-minute mark, most people just start flying, and then when we get to like an hour, I usually try to like keep it about an hour and a half, depending on what we get after the hour. They're like, well, let's keep going. And I'm just like, okay, like, let's keep going, and I'm down for anything, like content, anything like that. And especially if people can listen, but, it was just great. I knew you'd be a good guest cause I knew you would talk and, elaborate on different things. And, we'll do this again for sure.
Yeah. It's hard to get me to shut up. Jacob and Dylan and I tried, we talked about doing a podcast, but I kind of knew it wasn't going to happen.
But I mean, like I told this to my previous co-host who is taking a break right now. I basically told him, because he has like a bunch of family members who are very like they're all really interesting. They're very like they're all like different personalities, but they all like they talk shit. It's like being an iron worker, And I told him, I was like, if you can get both of them together, and if you guys are willing to rent out a studio with me, then I'll fucking do all the work with it, and just tell me when to go. Just give me a date. If you can get it together and schedule it, because like I'm all for content, I'm all for people, just having a conversation. And I personally, who I am, I like to listen. Like I know I talk a lot too, but listening I think is one of my best qualities, to be honest with you. I feel like I'm very good at conversation.
Yeah,
so
you have a fucking podcast, so yeah,
I have to be, right? So I mean, like, you always should prepare for anything, any type of conversation, no matter what it is, because like being casual and then being recorded on a device are two different things, and people just and there is a strategy towards a lot of it too, because like you don't want to sit here and banter about bullshit. Basically, that's not what people are here for. You're an interesting person.
They want to hear something interesting.
They want to hear interesting that you're about, and that's what I came to bring people, and that's what I kind of want to do with a lot of these podcasts, and I want to have podcasts on the channel. I want to have like multiple podcasts.
I mean, if you got a fucking dream, do it.
Yeah, it's like multimedia type deal. But yeah, it was great to have you on. Let me ask you: is there something else I wanted to ask you about?
I'm an open book. Remember, I admitted to drug dealing.
So yeah, you're basically it. This is it for you. You're gonna get canceled after this.
Probably. People are gonna like just walk away from me now.
Yeah,
I was kind of going to this like, fuck. What if I say something offensive? And then I was like, you know what? If I say something offensive, somebody doesn't like it, you get the fucking bricks. I don't fucking care.
No, yeah,
I don't need you in my life.
Yeah, I feel like cancel culture is kind of dying out now.
Yeah, because I know the people that are close to me, or my actual friends, my close friends. They know me. They know how I talk and what I say, and to be everything honest, I kind of make jokes about and shit.
You kept it pretty good. Like, I don't think I can. I think I can honestly say I could put this all out there and everything would be fine. To be honest with you,
I just curse a shitload. That's pretty much.
That's okay. I do the same thing. Yeah. I need to work on it actually, because I feel like sometimes it's a little tasteless. Yeah.
But I mean, some people kind of like that real conversation. Like, it's like they're listening to an actual conversation, not something that's like, okay, like, I get what you mean. Like, think about what you're going to ask, like have a topic of questions and shit like that. Like, have a list of them. But at the same time, kind of be real with your answer. Like, don't don't put out what you think people want to hear. Put out like your personal opinion. I mean,
exactly. Well,
and that's kind of what I came in. Like I kind of when I drove up, I was like, I'm just gonna give my fucking opinion on things. Like,
well,
that's all
really,
it really is.
What I'm trying to say is not really the opinion, but more like unsavory. Like when people cuss too much.
Yeah.
At a certain point, it's like, okay,
This
like,
guy's cussing.
Yeah, like stop cussing. And it's not that like, and you weren't doing that at all. Like you kept it pretty like you pretty good. Like it's listenable for sure. You know.
I hope so.
Oh yeah, dude. I feel like tag all your friends in this. Because I know the people in my audience. They probably won't. They're probably not gonna go crazy for an iron worker. But
They never do.
But I'm sure like some of your buddies or some people who like you talk to would like to hear you specifically, and then about the trade. And then maybe like those iron workers will want to come on here and talk.
Because I know there's guys that have plenty of. There's other guys that have been just as long as I have, or some longer that fucking have way fucking crazier stories than I do. Like I've I've never experienced them. Like I've just like heard about some stories, but I know a few guys that'll just like fucking blow your mind, or like how they got in the trade or what they're doing outside the trade. Like it's fucking wild. Yeah, it's fucking cool wild.
What else? Maybe I could look up something that we can talk about.
Yeah. So do you have like a list of people that you want to like bring on to this? Or you just kind of like flying by the fucking seat of your pants?
Flying by the seat of my pants right now, just because like scheduling is just a fucking hassle in itself. Because I know a lot of people just don't have time, especially now because like people are gonna have to start working more because of this whole recession thing that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So like that, it is a little difficult, and then like a lot of people will say they're down. And then when the time comes to it, they'll be like, no, I don't want to do it. Like I had this guy one time, and this was a while ago. It was like 2-3 months ago. I had this guy who, I guess he was some big time, he stole a bunch of money. Like he basically scammed a bunch of people out of money. Okay. He was like in a federal case or something like that. And I was like, okay, dude, like come on. Like I had put on like, on a group forum, like, hey, anybody wants to be on a podcast, like let me know. I'm having people on.
Yeah.
And he basically said, like, oh, I'm down. He told me this big-ass story. And then, like, when it came down to it, he didn't want to come on. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, you talked all this big game when we were fucking talking to each other. And now
big dick around, and all of a sudden you want to go run and hide.
Yeah, dude. And I was like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? And then there was, like... And then, like, it got to the point, though, like, there was, like, people that I just didn't know him well enough to be like, oh, you're an interesting person. You know? And then like there was another lady that I was gonna have. She was a cannabis activist, but when we talked on the phone, she kept talking over me, and I was like, this is not gonna work, because if this is what you do during your podcast, like I'm not gonna get upset, but I'm not gonna put it out because you just cut me off every fucking time,
Yeah.
So I don't say I'm not specific about it. I just think if I'm able to have a general conversation with you, I think that's like this right here. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for, just like, if you're going to talk over me, man, like, I don't even really want to talk to you.
Because you're not going to be able to ask the questions that you want to ask.
Exactly. They're just going to start bantering about bullshit, But yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the idea I had. And then, that's basically it. And now it's just like moving forward on this is just like, I am going through this. I'm going to go through like a solo period where it's just going to be me. So I think things are going to get a lot easier in terms of scheduling and a lot better of consistency of putting things out,
Okay.
So like I'm able to, Tuesday and Thursdays was always my days, but like due to like scheduling errors or like people not being able to make it or like certain things, I would have to like wait till Thursday, and that's like I don't like doing that because I feel like people are expecting a Tuesday and Thursday podcast.
You're trying to just pump it out, like you want to keep a tight schedule of when your podcasts are coming.
Exactly, because I'm not known. Like no one knows me. No one's waiting for me to put out a podcast.
I'm waiting for you to put out a podcast.
But like other than that, like small group of people I know. Like, no one other than that is really cares about what I have to say.
It's like your neighbor isn't like, hey, when are you putting the podcast out? Like, shit like that.
And it's like going to work. Like if you're inconsistent on going to work like that, they're gonna be like, fuck you, get out of here.
Exactly.
You're not working right, so we're not get out of here. So like the same thing with the podcast is like if I'm not putting things out specifically on those days and they expect it to be out,
people just stop listening.
Why are they going to be? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, it's all about content at this point, and then keeping a tight schedule, and then I don't know if I told you, I did an event on Saturday.
You were telling me, but I didn't know what event you were.
Yeah. I was so I used to work at a dispensary in Santa Ana.
Okay.
And basically, they invited me to go podcast there.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I did like 9 interviews
That's
with
pretty
like
dope.
different brands that were there, and then I podcasted in the back of it.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, it was pretty wild.
See, that's a pretty nice little
Yeah.
gig right there.
I got like 5 subscribers out of it. I mean, that's not a lot, but like that's more than
it's more than 5 more than you had.
Yeah, exactly. And it was great. I mean, I had a great time. I had like so much anxiety though, and I was so nervous, and I was like, I almost threw up.
I could only imagine because I mean, you're like going into this blind, you don't know any of these people, and you're just kind of
exactly.
Like, hey, like here's a fucking list of questions, and by the way, my name's Damien.
yeah, and your face is gonna be all over my channel too.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, and I can understand like it could be nerve wracking for some people, but like I was definitely like, oh no. Sometimes I was like, oh shit, I had to like take breaks in between interviews because I was starting to shake and stuff like that, and I think it was more stage fright than anything because I knew this was gonna go on the internet.
Yeah.
So I guess that was more of it, but yeah, it went pretty well so far, and I just got to edit it now, and then we're gonna start putting them out. And
so they're all individual.
Yeah, so my girlfriend, shouts out to my girlfriend. She filmed me doing an interview with each brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so each brand got like a list of questions, who are they about, whatnot, and I'm gonna put those as like reels and like shorts on YouTube.
Okay, that's
so like because they're only like 2 minutes long. So I just chop them up a little bit and then put whatever like good shit I got on there, and then I actually podcasted with employees in the back. So I'm gonna put that on YouTube or Spotify, and then yeah, basically that's gonna be it. And
that's wild. I'm still like blown that like I mean I'm not talking shit, but like that you're now on Spotify. I'm just like fuck, like yeah, this is a real thing.
It's actually really easy.
Like, did you have to go and like contact them or
register or anything or licensing? You just go on. There's this site called Anchor. And basically you just create a profile and then upload your videos to it, and that's it.
Really? Wow.
That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Yeah.
But in order to get like money from it, you would have to like actually sign a contract with them or something like that.
No. You could just. I think it's like ads at first, but like to sign a contract, you would have to be big. Like
you have to have a certain amount of subscribers. Or some shit like
just
that.
People who, and then like your podcast will only be on Spotify.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like I don't you
don't want to limit yourself to that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's so much more like outreach. Like I'm not Joe Rogan, so like not everyone's gonna go listen to me. I have to get bigger. But yeah.
But I mean, like YouTube is a really good. YouTube's a really good platform.
Like, YouTube is great, honestly, and that's where I wanted to get big on was YouTube. I don't really care about Spotify.
Well, it's how a lot of guys that like I know a few like. I listened to the Joe Rogan one. You ever heard of Mr. Beast or whatever?
Yeah.
So I listened to that one. He said that's how he got big. He said he just stuck with YouTube, and he's like, that's how I made all my money.
The only difference though is he's a content creator, and I'm just a podcaster.
We can make some content and set up an OnlyFans, like
just get the room soundproof and everything. We'll do big. Show my Cheeks Productions.
Cheeks Productions, bro.
But that's basically it. Yeah. I mean, like, how's the whole fucking cooler thing going?
I still got some work on it, but I mean, it's obviously it's a trial and error type thing. So I'm kind of like I'm not trying to go into like exact details, but like for the most part, it's really easy to make. But I mean, nobody wants to make something like I think in today's society, like people are just like, here, let me throw some money at it, and then I'll get it. Rather than trying to make it, they're like, oh, I'll just fucking throw some money at it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's kind of like where I'm like, no, I was like, well, if you can fucking make it, just fucking make it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, because then, like, it's something that you can talk about. Like, because remember the fucking barbecue that we had in La Habra? I built that myself. Like,
oh, no shit.
Yeah, I just took some fucking like whatever scrap bent plate that they were gonna use, like edge metal, like what they use on the edge of the building to hold in the concrete. Like I grabbed whatever they were gonna fucking scrap out, throw away, and I fucking welded that shit together, and I made myself a fucking barbecue.
Did you get the framework from somewhere else? Like,
no, I drew it all out, and it was all in my fucking head, and it's weird. Really? So
because I found barbecues like that
at
Costco.
So it's called a Santa Maria style barbecue. Okay, so it's got the crank where you crank it up and the whole griddle goes like cranks all the way up, and I can crank it all the way down. Okay, but I had seen them and I was kind of like, all right, like that looks pretty fucking easy to make. And then I was at work and I was like, you know what? I was like, all this fucking shit is all scrap. I was like, I have the material, I have the fucking time. I was like, I'm just gonna fucking do it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I just started like kind of drawing up like shit plans. Like I'm a terrible fucking artist, so I was like drawing up the best I could. It looked like a fucking 3-year-old drew it. I was like, all right, but for like and then I just started building. But I like when I do things like that, I kind of like I really don't go off like plans. I just kind of just go off what's in my head. And in situations like that, I'm just like, if I'm doing something kind of creative, I just start like, I just fly by the seat of my pants. Like I'll just do like, if I'm feeling it at the moment, then I'll just do it.
Okay.
Like sometimes I'll like, when I was slapping that grill together, I was like, all right, like, I'll put a leg here, or like, I mean, 4 legs obviously, but then I was like, all right, what do I want? Like, all right, I'm gonna have it come up here. All right, what am I gonna use for like fucking wire? So I actually had to go and fucking like, I couldn't find any like metal like wire like thin enough. It was all the shit that we use at work is thick. So I was like, it wasn't gonna work. So I was like, fuck, where am I gonna get this wire from? So I actually had to take it. Like
Jesus.
Yeah, I had to fucking like I had to pull it out of the fucking because I was at work and I was like, you know what, fuck it. The MEP guys, the ones that put in like the lights and stuff and all the plumbing. So I had to they have these wires that they punch holes through the deck and it dangles to the floor below and it's like long wire. And I fucking ripped like 2 or 3 of them out and just fucking took that shit home and rigged it up and made myself little ropes on the side of my griddle so it'll fucking roll up and roll down. Like,
that shit was cool.
Like
yeah.
I mean, I made that shit just like I just decided like, hey, I'm gonna make a barbecue.
I was always tripped out because I thought you guys had bought it. That was just old, and I was like, damn.
No, I made that shit.
Dude.
The thing's bulletproof though, baby.
Is
That thing's fucking
indestructible,
heavy. Dude. It is.
Is it at your house now, or is it still at
No, it's at my parents' house. But I'm actually I think my cousin wants to buy it.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, and if he doesn't buy it, just to let everybody know, it's a pretty big barbecue, and I'll probably if he doesn't buy it, I'll probably end up putting it up for raffle just because I want to get rid of it. It's just taking up space.
Put up a raffle on here, man.
Hey, all
so
the proceeds, yeah.
All the proceeds.
All the proceeds go to Cheeks Productions,
Cheeks
baby.
Productions and the come up.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's a good time.
Yeah, but I'm kind of like I kind of like doing like little projects, like random ass projects like that. Like I got it from my grandpa. My grandpa would do that.
That's sick.
Like he would make all his like, it sounds like sketchy, but he would make kind of like all his own tools. Like he would like find broken shit and then put it together and fucking make a brand new fucking tool.
That's dope.
Yeah. So it's like random. So that's like when he was still alive, like I'd go over and he'd be working on some little fucking thing and it turns out I was like, what are you working on? And just have this brand new fucking tool and then just put together by fucking shit that's been broken.
Yeah.
Just like, he would always like utilize it, even though it's broken, he would still use it somehow.
It's sick.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's been about hour 15, man. I'm kind of like running out of brain power right now.
That's fine.
But I think this is good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and we're gonna have you back on here for sure.
Yeah.
You know, maybe with other ironworkers. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
Appreciate it, John, and thanks for coming all the way down to Costa Mesa too. I know the drive was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, hey, like I said, I'm off for a month, so I'm not doing anything. So I was like, fuck it, let's go.
Maybe we'll have you back sooner.
Yeah,
within the month.
I'm all about it.
All right, John. Well, we're signing out. Thanks again.